Consumer spending fell for a second straight month in June as Americans held back due to high unemployment and continuing weakness in the U.S. housing market. But investors had other things to cheer about. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has enjoyed its longest winning streak since April, following robust earnings reports this week by aluminum maker Alcoa and railroad giant CSX. On Wednesday, the technology sector led the way after computer chip maker Intel reported $10.8 billion in revenue, its biggest quarterly income in more than a decade. Intel's chief financial officer, Stacy Smith.
And what we're starting to see now is that companies are investing in technology, putting it in the hands of their employees because it makes those employees more productive and it reduces costs for the companies. And I think that's really what's driving the market right now.
Intel's record profit is helping to dispel fears that the U.S. economy is headed towards a double-dip recession. Fighting its worst approval rating since taking office, the Obama administration argued the economic recovery remains on track. Vice President Joe Biden said the government's $800 billion stimulus has already saved or created about 3 million jobs.
We are releasing a report today that says the GDP is between 2.7 and 3.2% higher because of one thing, the Recovery Act. Put it another way, we would be barely growing at all were it not to have passed in the first place.
Despite an initial growth spurt from the stimulus, analysts say the U.S. economy is likely to grow more slowly in the second half of the year, not enough to reduce unemployment, now hovering near 10%. But ABC News business analyst Melody Hobson says better than expected profits this week will have a stimulative effect on the U.S. economy.
They're either going to have to give it to the shareholders in the form of dividends, hire more people, investment spend, or buy companies. All of that bodes well. They can't hold the cash forever.
Despite encouraging earnings reports, U.S. stock prices edged lower late Wednesday after the Federal Reserve trimmed its growth forecast for the U.S. economy, citing weaker than expected consumer spending. Mil Arcega, VOA News.